So, my daughter, gee, that would be less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours into her first day. Oh, hold on, let's turn that off. And Netflix starting up. Hold on. Watching a movie that was recommended by my customer called Happy. Young woman, I picked her up in the middle of nowhere. 20-something, delightful young woman. I took her for a long ride. She took me 15% of my daily goal today in my first ride in the morning, and it's been slow since then. But she recommended, we had the most interesting discussion talking about happiness, and she recommended a movie to me called Happy that I've been watching. But anyway, off topic. Speaking of happy, Emily seems to be happy, my daughter. As if you follow in these train of videos, she had her first week of school, first week in America last week, and first day of school on Friday, and she made a friend. Interesting, a young Japanese girl, same class, same age, and although she was born in the United States, so that makes her a U.S. citizen as well as a Japanese citizen. So she's a dual citizen kid, just like Emily. But the difference is that she spent her whole life in the United States, and both of her parents are Japanese, from Japan, and they speak only Japanese in the home. And as a result, her Japanese is very, very good. Both written and spoken Japanese are excellent. And she was assigned, this young girl was assigned to help Emily on her first day. So when we had the first day of school, they asked her to allow Emily to shadow her that day. Turns out they have the same homeroom. And she introduced Emily to her friends, and all the girls have so much in common. They all love One Piece, which is a Japanese anime, and as well as the Precure, which is something Emily doesn't like anymore. But when she was little, Precure, an anime. So they have so much. They have a lot in common. And then we met. We were at the Japanese supermarket yesterday. Oh, and then we were out yesterday trying to buy a backpack for Emily because her first full week of school begins on Monday. And we were trying to find a backpack, and Emily was back there texting in the back of the car, texting. We were trying to find a place to buy a backpack, and she was texting. Hold on, gotta make sure this is on. There we go. Sorry, don't want to miss any lifts. She was texting with her new friend, who I won't name, but and it was interesting because the texts were in both Japanese and English. They were switching between the languages, and Emily was reading her suggestions in English, and Emily was reading English and saying it out loud very well. And then the mother, this girl's mother, the Japanese mother, was speaking via way of her daughter who was texting to my daughter, our daughter, who was speaking out loud to my wife. Back, and there was this two-way conversation between daughters. So then the woman on the other end politely asked if she could have my wife's cell phone number so she could text her, and because we were trying to find a place to buy a backpack. So then my wife and she began texting, and then the phone rang. And it was that woman, and they had a nice introduction, and then they suggested us to a place to go, and we went and bought and got a great backpack. Emily likes it. But then it gets even more interesting. So Emily continues ongoing texting. I was just so delighted to actually hear her reading English, because the girl was texting her back and forth in English and Japanese, and Emily was reading English. And then we went to the Japanese supermarket later, and guess who was at the supermarket? I saw the young girl there, and she and Emily were so happy to see each other, and I met the mother, and then my wife came over, and we sat in the aisle and must have talked for half an hour. And their family has so much in common. Basically, their mother and father are the same age as my wife and I. Their life path is very different. They've been here. Yumiko and I met Yumiko came to America in 1987. The mother came to America in 1989. And without going into any details, they're going through an interesting life challenge as well. So in a way, their family and my family are all starting over. We have a lot in common. And Emily, I'm so happy to see that Emily has a friend, and she's texting her back and forth. She has her friends in Japan still, and now she has a friend here as well. And last night I went in to say goodnight to her before I went to bed. I got an early to bed so I could do this today. And Emily was texting to that young girl again. So great. Less than 24 hours in, she's got a nice friend. Less than 24 hours into the first day of school, and we have a connection with a nice family that has a lot in common with us, and we'll see them at the open house this week as well. So I just wanted to share that. I think the most significant part of that was that Emily has made some friends, some American friends, and some Japanese friends, some Japanese American friends, and has connection into a new world and a new life, and seems to be doing very well in those first steps. Okay, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.